So after so many hours of hard work for a couple of nights, I have finally managed to finish the Narrative Gundam. I have completely recolored the Narrative Gundam because I don't want it to look too much like the Unicorn Gundam in its destroyed mode. After all, the Narrative Gundam is more related to the new Gundam as opposed to the Unicorn Gundam, and the Narrative Gundam C-Pax is actually a prototype version of the new Gundam during development, although in the photo it does remind you a lot of the Unicorn Gundam destroyed mode. So I hope you guys will like my color choice. Let me show you guys. What do you guys think? I know initially it looked rather odd with the color combination. It doesn't have the usual Gundam white on the body, but as you guys know, this is a Narrative Gundam, which is the prototype version of the new Gundam. So I have decided to ditch the traditional Gundam white color and completely recolored it to these color. So as you can see, I have used a lot of gunmetal color as well as a different shade of blue. I have also airbrushed almost every single part except for two parts, and the two parts are the red torso. I kept it as the original red, as well as the small blue parts and clear parts in the middle. Everything else has been recolored. So to show you guys the color, those light color metallic blue, I was using the galactic blue. So to use this kind of metallic paint on the airbrush, you will have to thin it quite a lot, and also you might want to use a wider diameter outlet of airbrush. So instead of using the 0.3, I would recommend you to use the 0.4 or 0.5 millimeters outlet of airbrush. So for my preference, I used the 0.5 millimeter outlet airbrush to apply the metallic blue, and then the darker shade of blue, mainly the backpack and the shoes area, I used the Tamiya flat blue XF8. The color is actually very good. It suits the Gundam a lot, and the pigment is actually really smooth. As you can see, it also comes out in a matte polish color as well. I haven't done anything to it after the airbrush. And you could also see the gunmetal color as well. It's also very smooth and very shiny. So with the gunmetal color, at first I airbrushed a layer of glossed black. After that, I put on a layer of chrome silver X11, and then the third layer I used gunmetal X10. So if you follow the instruction, you will achieve this kind of color, which is really nice. Next, you will see there are some black parts or matte black. So mainly you have some of the hinges by the ankle, those fingers, the hinges by the elbow, as well as some other components in the main body. Those parts I just used flat black XF1, and it does come out like a matte color as well. And then where you see the beam rifle as well as the upper legs, I know you probably can't see it through the camera, but this actually has a two-tone color. So what I did was to apply the color shift color. So you can see this is A709 and the color looks like that. So it looks like a matte black color with glitters in gold. So after a layer of this, I then put on the flat black again, but only a light layer on top. You don't want to cover up all of those gold glitters from here. So if I show you a little bit closer, you will be able to see the very small glittering on the beam rifle. It's very, very subtle. You might not be able to see it, but they are definitely there. And also the upper legs. It's quite hard to see the gold color, but they are there. And then the V antennas as well as the chest, I have used Tamiya Lemon Yellow X8. So the original color on the chest is supposed to be white. I was going to change it to a gunmetal color as well, but then I decided to use the yellow to bring out the details. The rest of the cycle frame, they are just the original color from the packaging. I haven't changed them. The beam on the beam saber, I have given it a matte polish, so you can see that is the only translucent red part that is not shiny, but everything else, like all of these, they are shiny. So let me show you the size comparison. I'll put the Unicorn Gundam next to him, and straight away you will be able to tell the Narrative Gundam is almost the same height as the Unicorn Gundam, but I can tell you the Unicorn Gundam is actually a little bit taller than the Narrative Gundam, which makes sense because the Unicorn Gundam in its destroyed mode should look a little bit taller than the normal Unicorn mode. So you can see the two Gundams side by side with the cycle frame exposed. I think they look really cool with those cycle frame on the body. And earlier I did mention that the Narrative Gundam is more related to the new Gundam rather than the Unicorn Gundam. I think The first thing you have noticed, if you look at those V-shaped antennas, they are already very different. So the Narrative Gundam has a double V, Unicorn Gundam only has a single V. The shield looks similar. If you look at the shoes, they are also very different as well. The shapes are completely different. Even the shape of the shoulder, they are quite different as well. And also the backpack on the Unicorn is quite different to the backpack on the Narrative Gundam as well. So let me remove the Unicorn Gundam and I'll put in the new Gundam. So looking at the backpack, you can see they are more similar, and also the side profile of the legs, they are very similar as well, and also the shape of the shoes, they are very similar. And by this comparison, you will be able to see the Narrative Gundams are more related to the new Gundam. You can tell the V antennas, they are very similar. Even the rear skirt, they are of similar shape as well as the side skirt armor. The chest has similar shape, or maybe because I have recolored it to yellow, so to me they look more similar compared to the Unicorn Gundam, which I'll show you here in the background. And also this blue circular part at the back of the backpack, they have some similarity as well. And just look at the upper torso area, it is very similar to the new Gundam as well. The shield, yes, they are quite different. They both have the missiles on the inside of the shield, and on the Unicorn Gundam there is nothing, it's blank there. The new Gundam as well as the Narrative Gundam, you can see those 4 missiles. So let me remove the new Gundam, put the Unicorn Gundam in the background as well. So I hope you guys like the recolored of the Narrative Gundam. I personally like it. It looks very different to the original color, but at least because it is a prototype, I think it is acceptable to have the Gundam in a completely different color. Now let me show you all those parts that I haven't used. So first of all, the stickers. You can see I have only used one set of the eye unit. I've picked the red eye with the black background. So let me bring it closer to show you. You can see the red eyes. I think the red eyes go better with the cycle frame, whereas the normal version I would be using the green eyes instead. Sticker number 2 and 3. Number 3 is the sensor at the back of the head, and number 2 is located at the top of the head. Let me show you, which is here. You can see the green. And then number 4 is for the out-facing scope on the beam rifle. I haven't applied the sticker as yet. I have kind of forgotten about it. So if I show you, you can see the green label supposed to be there and it's missing. So I will apply the sticker later on. There's also a spare part, which is a right hand holding a fist. So this is for holding the beam saber, and just like the Unicorn Gundam, it also comes with the back of hand armor, which is cool. I've also have a lot of spare polycaps. I don't know why, but I will be keeping these as spares. It's quite a lot of them. With the cycle frame or the translucent red color, I have pretty much used up everything on the runner except for the second beam for the beam saber. I will have it cut out later on, and I will donate this beam to the new Gundam, because as I mentioned in the review video of the new Gundam, the entry grade new Gundam doesn't come with the beam, but you do have the beam saber handle at the back, so I could just borrow this from the Narrative Gundam. And then I have some spare parts for the backpack. So this is just a normal one without the cycle frame, and there's also another spare parts right there. So that's the original, and then with the cycle frame is that one, and you can see the translucent parts. So where you see the flat blue color, originally it was this kind of color. Next we have some spare grey parts. I'm not entirely sure what they are for, but they're there. And then another grey part. Again, you have those two parts again, as well as these are part of the upper legs, but because these one now has the cycle frame, so you won't need these during assembly. And then the original white parts, you can see there are some armor for the arm or the upper arm. You have the shoulder vent as well as the top side of the shoe. So these are just spare. There's also another runner which has the same thing. See, they are identical. So those are the spare parts I have left after the full construction. So I hope you guys like the recolored of the Narrative Gundam. I personally like it a lot. I actually like the color application more than the color itself. I don't know if I have a second kit, whether I would recolor it in this kind of color or I would change it again. But at least to me, the Narrative Gundam now look quite different to the Unicorn Gundam. So I'll put them side by side. It does look really good. And I know through the camera the color looks slightly different to reality. In reality, these colors look a little bit lighter than what you can see through the screen. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you do like it, then please give me a like. If you don't like it, then let me know the reason, and I will try and improve the color scheme next time. But as I mentioned, I just want the Narrative Gundam to look something completely different to the Unicorn Gundam in its destroyed mode, so that kind of serves its purpose for having those colors on. And hopefully I will have another Gundam to work on fairly quickly. I do have some spare Gundam kit which I still need to schedule on to get them done, so hopefully I will make up my mind very soon. Until then, take care, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now, guys.